Chalo. So our today's agenda is we're gonna see the conditional statement. So guys, where we are using conditional statements. First, suppose if you wake up early in the morning and you thought I am hungry, I'll eat breakfast. Right? This is a condition. Right? You wake up and you are thinking that yeah, I'm hungry and I'll eat breakfast. So right now I'm just putting here only one condition, right? So that is means if there is a scenario to put condition somewhere, there we use these conditional statements, right? So if I want to go there, I'll reach there, I'll do that. If I'll not reach there, I'll do this, right? So at that condition, if whenever there is a condition occur, at that time we have to use this conditional statement. So there are multiple types in the conditional statements. We're gonna see with the help of further slides. Now let's move ahead with if statement first. So the first type of statement is known as if statement. So what is meant by if statement? So Python relies on indentation, white spaces at the beginning of the line. Don't worry, I'll just gonna explain that. To define a scope of code, other programming language often use curly braces for this purpose. So when we studied function, let me open my whiteboard. So guys, I think I have covered that indentation part when we studied function, def of my, right? Here, if I need to write some code inside this function, I need to put indentation over here. I need to give some spaces, white spaces in the beginning, right? So if I put white spaces in the beginning, suppose I need to write print of x, right? So this indentation means that this print text is inside this function, right? So this is known as indentation. Same, we need to follow the same indentation in our conditional statement as well. So if there is a if statement, so the syntax for if statement is if, then here we need to write a condition and then colon. So here we need to write condition. So condition could be anything: a greater than 5, b greater less than 5, a greater than equal to 5, and anything, any condition you can write over here in front of if. Then after that you need to hit colon, and here you have to write any statement. Suppose if a is greater than b, I'll gonna print that a is greater than b, right? So this is a condition. Now the important part is indentation. So in PyCharm, if I put, where is my PyCharm? Let me create a new file for you. So for why we are learn new Python file, guys, keep in mind, do not give a reserved keyword as a file name for, or, and, while, if, right? So right now what I'll give if else underscore if elif underscore else, right? So now we are going to learn if statements. Suppose if I have assigned a is equal to 3 first, right? And here I'm writing condition if a is less than 3, then here, see, if I put enter over here, just like functions, I'm the PyCharm is getting automatic indentation, right? If I write print here, hi, I'll get an error. Let's run this program. See, I'm getting error that expected intended block. So what is my intended block is here in PyCharm only one space also work. In not in PyCharm, in every in Python one space of the indentation is also work. And here always we use tab, right? So here in PyCharm and another IDE, the tab is not just a tab where you can see in Word or somewhere else. Here if I put tab, my cursor will go 4 spaces, it will enter 4 spaces, right? Same over here, if you're not writing any indentation, you can just put enter, the PyCharm will take the indentation part. Now let's focus on this now. If statement. Indentation is done. Let's focus on if statement. So here I have assigned a equal to 3. A is less than 3, right? And here I'm printing that a is less than 3, right? And here I'm entering. See, now I'm writing at the front, means below if. So this statement will not be inside if statement. So it is below if statement. So here I am outside of if, right? If I run it, see, I'm outside of if, because keep in mind, guys, this condition, this if condition, right? Whatever I'm writing this condition, my interpreter will go inside this when and when this condition will get true. That you need to keep in mind, that my interpreter will go inside this if statement when and when my condition hits true, right? Here a is less than 3. Is it true or false? It is false, and hence I am getting this particular line which is getting printed, that I am outside of if. If I have changed this, change it to 2, right? And if I run this, I'll get both statements. First, what Python cursor will go, okay, a equal to 2 means there will be memory allocated with 2101 will be the ID, right? Here, is 2 is less than 3? Yes, condition is true inside this if statement. Now a is less than 3 will get printed. See, we are getting a is less than 3. And then after this line, the interpreter come outside of this if and it will print the next line name as print I am outside of if, right? So this is known as if statement, which is the first conditional statement in our Python. Same here, this is the syntax if conditional statement. Here we have to assign a statement, and then this is a second statement. Now let's move towards another condition named as if else statement. So first we have seen if statement. Now what is if else statement work? Let's take an example. I leave my house if it is, see, I leave my house if it is cloudy, I'll bring umbrella. Otherwise, I'll bring sunglasses. So I am specifying exact condition. Here in this case, in the last case, I'm just giving only one condition, that if I'm hungry, I'll eat breakfast. But I'm not giving another condition that if I'm not hungry, what I'll do, right? So this is if statement only. But here in another statement, I'm giving both conditions. If it is cloudy, I'll bring umbrella. Otherwise, I'll bring sunglasses. So what is the syntax for if and else statement? Let's move ahead. Here, let me comment this part. Here, the syntax for if and else statement is same. If condition intent colon indentation, we can write statements. Let's say statement 1, and here below if I can write else, right? So here in else we do not need to write condition. You can just write colon and then hit statements 2, right? So this is a syntax for if and else statement. So we're gonna run that. Suppose I is equal to 20. I have put I equal to 20. If I is less than 15, I'll gonna print I is smaller than 15, right? Again, I'll just print for your understanding that I am in if block. Here now I'm specifying else statement. If this if condition is false, then what should my program print? So I am specifying else statement as I am obviously greater, right? If it is not smaller than 20, it will be greater than 20, greater than 15, not 20, right? Because I have specified the condition I less than 15. So if condition is false, then this else block will get printed, and here I am also printing I am in else block, BOLCK block, and outside this if and else I can just print that I am outside of if else block, right? That's it. Suppose I have run it. See, I am greater than 15. I am in else block and I am outside of if else block. Where is my pen? Oh, here. So here, let's have a look. The cursor will come over here, the interpreter. I is equal to 20. I is less than 20. It means 20 less than 15. 20 is less than 15. Is it true or false? No, it is false. So my interpreter will not go inside this if statement because this condition is false now. It will move towards else part directly. Now here I am greater than 15 will getting printed. Now the second line I'm in else block will get printed, and here after this my interpreter will move outside of this else block and this particular line will get printed with below else, right? So this is my second statement known as if else statement. So what is the third statement I have? I have if elif else statement. See guys, first we saw if statement where we can just put only one condition. Second, we saw either or. If there is a rain, I'll just bring umbrella. If otherwise, I'll just bring sunglasses, right? Here, what is the condition? I'm giving more than two conditions to my statement. Just like I'm at a restaurant. If I want a main course, I'll order paneer, right? Otherwise, if I want a starter, I'll order a soup. If both condition will get false, means if there is I don't have a mood to eat main course or starter, I'll just order snacks, right? So here it will be more specific that what I will do in this case. Let's have a look. Let me come in this part again. Let's start about if, elif, and else. Suppose here I'm taking answer from the answer variable. Input I'm taking if you want to continue, right? Yes, yes, or no, right? And I'll just put space here. See here what I'm writing, if answer is equal to we have saw this operator, right? It will compare whatever the string is as colon, hit enter, print that. Okay, let's continue, right? Here again, see what is the syntax for if elif and else is, first we have to write if condition, then colon, then first statement, then here elif, 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 then here we need to specify another condition, guys, right? Because this is elif block. Here I can write second statement, and if these both will get false, I have my default else block. Without condition, it will be third statement. Now we're gonna see here how to write that. Now, if the user will get output as S, it will print let's continue, right? So if I put elif, 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 answer is equal to no, right? If it is answer is no, I'm gonna print what I got, let's say no worries, comma, thank you, right? And if these both condition will get false, I'll just print else, please enter valid input, right? So let me make it, this S as a small, and then we're gonna see that. Suppose let's run this program. Here it is asking me type yes or no. Okay, I want to continue yes. So it is printing this block now. So my cursor, if user write S, it will go to this print block and it will print. If I put no, let's see what happened. See, it is now getting no worries block. If I have put suppose N only, see, it is asking please enter valid input. Okay, that's fine for S and no. But what if I have given input like capital Y E S S? It is saying me please enter valid input. Is it true? No, it should be, it should, my interpreter should go here and it should print that a line like that, yes. Oh, okay, let's continue. So what should I do now? Any guesses? What should I do now?
One more condition to each statement, which is capital Yes and small yes by using OR operator.
If someone is speaking,
Sorry, I was away from the mic.
yeah.
So you can add one more statement into the if only by
Mhm,
using small yes and capital yes with
mhm.
using or operators maybe.
Okay, that's a Chirag perspective. Anyone else want to try?
So uh, if it has a constraint of capital and small alphabet, then we can use a statement or a program that uh, upper
One
limit, upper lower.
one more suggestion where we can like use elif statement 3 or 4 times maybe
Mhm.
considering our options.
Okay, that's a one point. Who
Yeah.
was prior
String.
to Chirag? Who was telling?
So when string,
Yeah.
there was a string
Okay, lower and
string
upper. You meant to
function.
say?
So
Okay.
we
Yes,
can mention
function.
it is case sensitive, so give proper answer.
That is the case. But what if, see, that is case sensitive that we know because we are learning Python, right? We know that, okay, we are learning Python. So here in our router also, if it is asking for yes or no, if you put capital E yes, will that take output or not?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It was taking output. So what we can do is, as per the Subin, he was telling that we can use lower and upper function, and we have seen that, guys, for the string as well, how to make that string, getting it that nothing is impossible. I have put it as nothing is impossible, and we have learned that how to make this string as over or in lowercase. So what we did, we have just did string1 is equal to suppose nothing is impossible, and here the simple funda is str1 dot lower. So it always convert this nothing is impossible into lower. Same here, what I can do is I can just take dot lower. It means that whatever the input, irrespective of the user will enter the input, it will automatically convert into the lowercase. Getting it? Let's try it now. If I have put suppose capital S, getting it? Yeah, right? So for your confirmation also, I'll just print answer. Oh, what is it? Process. Oh, okay. Capital P, answer, right? Let's run this program. Here, if I put capital S, see, getting is a lower S, and hence I'm getting this output, right? So this is the one type. Either, see, Chirag was saying that we can enter multiple elif part, but guys, we have to keep in mind, if we are doing multiple elif, it will increase the length of program. So the second thing is it will your program will work slow. It will allocate a more memory for it. So it is not a sign of good programmer, right? This is the one point that you can do input as a lower, as well as if you don't want to put lower here, you can do it just like answer dot lower here as well, right?
Cannot we assign multiple values to answer within the if statement which says if answer is equals to small yes and capital yes? I mean, we can use or statements if there is any way.
Yeah, because we didn't study that or and right now, no? So that's why
Okay.
I cannot tell that, right? Where is it? Okay, here is error. See, guys, so any issues in if, elif, and else? Open for all.
Okay.
You can ask
Okay.
any question.
Yeah, okay.
Do we, what is the command or what is the way of having a uh, nested if and else statement?
We're gonna see not command. See what we can do is for nested. Let me also, if answer is suppose, so just forget guys, I have to if I'm not putting low over here, so here what I can do is if s, right, I'll just write print keep in mind Python is case sensitive, right? Forgive me for the spellings and all. So here this is a nested if. So if custom user will enter this s, see I'm entering capital yes, yes, it is saying me valid input. Why it is not saying this? Can anyone tell me why it is not printing this now?
Because the first statement is not true.
Obviously this should not be true. So here what I can do is, if you want to try that, you can try it first s over here, then you can just write s. You can do it. See, for this is a syntax for nested if. You can put as much if you want to put inside this if, right? This is a syntax for it. You can do any conditions, so you can put any conditions inside this. Want to shall I take one more example for if, or it's good? If else?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, let's try one more example of if else. Suppose chalo ek easy example. I is equal to 10, right? Here I'll just put if I is equal to 10. That's my condition. Here, see who was asking Subin. Here I'll just put nested if. If again, if under if I is less than 15, I'll just write print I small I is smaller than 15, right? Here outside this if, again I'm writing if I is less than 12, I'll just print I is smaller than 12, right? So 12 2, you can write 12 2, right? Here, okay, let me think. I equal to 10, then it will be enter. It is 10 is less than 12. That's good. 10 is less than 15. Okay, that's good. Here, what I'll do, elif. Again, I'll put condition if I is less than 13 as well, right? Here, I'll just put one more copy, paste 13. Simple example, guys. And else, I can print that I is greater than 12, 13, 15, right? Or rather than this, you can just write 15, right? So any issues in this program means just for writing, I'm gonna run it. Let's run and then I'll explain to you. So here I'm getting I is smaller than 15 and I is smaller than 12 too. But where is my pen? Here. Just have a look at the program first. I equal to 10. I is equal to 10. Okay, that's my variable. Here, if I equal to 10, is it true? This 10 equal to 10? Yes, it is true. It will go to this block, if block. If 10 is less than 15, is it true? Yes, it is true. Hence, I'm getting this output, right? This here, I'm just using first conditional statement known as if. Inside this, again, I have put one condition name as I is less than 12. Is 10 as less than 12? Is it true? Yes, it is true. Hence, I am getting I is smaller than 12 too, right here. But guys, see, have a look. If this if statement is executed, it means that one of the statement from if, elif, and else is get executed. So my cursor will not go here or here. It will come outside of this if. Getting it? So if one of the condition of if, elif, or else get satisfied, then it will get printed and it will the cursor will come, the interpreter will come out of that block. Got it? Any issues in it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Philip, you're
Yes, I'm good.
Okay.
Yes, good. I have a question for you.
Mhm.
This or is this star or that key in front of us? How do you do that for all to have this pound key in front of all this line?
means I'm not sure about your question, Philip. Can you just
I
repeat
mean,
your question?
Yeah, you see top here where you put this one no top this pound key, the pound key here,
Mhm.
line 22.
Okay, here, yeah.
How do you do to have all the pound key in all this line? Yeah,
Okay. You uncomment, right? You want to
yes,
uncomment this all.
correct, yes, because I always do one by one, but I
Yeah.
see you do that for all once. I don't know
Yeah,
how do you
no
do that.
worries. See, in PyCharm, you can just select it all and just hit the shortcut for those is control and /.
Sorry.
Right? This is a shortcut for it.
Control and
/.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And here, always guys, again, as the Philip asked, I'll want to tell you one thing. Here, there is some of the part if we're gonna study try and exception handling and all. If you want to put indentation, what you can do is by mistake, if you write everything in a single line, suppose you have written this like this, and you need to put the indentation because this if you want inside this if, right? So what you can do is just select it all and just hit tab. If you put tab, everything will be indented automatically, right? And if you want to come back, you can just hit shift tab, just like our Excel, right? So this is the shortcuts for it. Okay, let's move ahead. Any issues in if else if?
No.
Okay, now I'm moving towards my logical operators. So what is meant by logical operators? So guys, we have two operators name as or and also the not is also a logical operator, right? So we have studied not in previous classes, I think yesterday's class as well. So what or will do? Let's quickly go to my program. Here, what I'll do, let's put a is equal to 50. Here, what I'll write, if a is less than 10 or a is less than 49. Getting it? Then I should print that a is less than 49. Right, I'm just using only one if statement, not using else and all. So it will prove your doubts. It will solve your doubts. Suppose I am pasting a equal to 50. So our first logical operator is known as or. So or means if there are two conditions in front of this, if I have put condition 1, condition 2. So or means any one condition, if it is gets true, this if are executed as true. And if it is executed as true, it means my cursor will go inside of this if block. Here, a is, okay, let's put what we can put is just put a is less than 50, right? Let's put like this. Here, let's do a is less than 10. Is it true? 50 is less than 10? False. It is not. Let me put greater over here. Is 50 is greater than 10 or not? Tell me, guys.
Yes.
Right. So this condition is true. Or is 50 is less than 50? No, this is false. Right. So here this condition is true. This condition is false. Still, if there is a or operator and any one condition is gets true, let's try it out. Let's try high, suppose. See, I'm getting high because although this condition is false, but if this condition is true, I'll get high. I'll get the output whatever you are writing the statement inside this if. Suppose I have changed it to and. So and is also a reserve keyword. So here, vice versa, if I put and here, I can see that 50 is greater than 10. Okay, this condition is true. 50 is less than 50. No, this condition is false. So in and statement, we want both conditions should be true. Then and then my interpreter will go inside this if block. Let's print it out. I'll get nothing. See, I'm not getting anything over here. Getting it? It means my interpreter will not going inside. Clear about and an or? Any issues in an or and an or? Okay.
No, we just need more practice. It's good.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
need to.
and
That is a
Dheeraj,
main
Yeah.
case. Yeah.
Dheeraj,
Yeah.
if we have to match three condition with or, will it work? And what will be the condition? If
That
anyone
you
will,
can write. Let's see. Suppose.
okay,
Can
we create with
you can get you can create it and or you can create it. That is not an issue. That is a logic that how you want to create, but means what you can create. How you can create three condition? I'm scared.
suppose no that this or then what will be the minimum eligible criteria for that condition should be true for or if we'll match three
This
conditions?
is like
Will it work?
this.
Yeah.
A equal to 50.
Yeah. Will
No,
it work?
it is a false syntax. You can do that. You cannot do that. You should not actually. You can just put, see, you can just write condition, right? Here in the condition, you can just write either and or either or. You
Yeah.
cannot use more than two conditions to get fall. You can just write elif statement at the below, right? Rather than this.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Chalo.
Is it
Mhm.
if I talk about the query raised by I don't know who, but can we nest them?
You can do mesh them in the sense.
Let's suppose I have a scenario
Mm-hmm.
and let's suppose my name, just an example, name equal to this, and I'm just creating a scenario in my mind.
No issues. What you can do is, Subin, you can try it by yourself. I think you got the logic, right? So just try it by yourself. And if there is any issue in the next class, we're gonna see that.
Okay.
Chalo. Not operate. Yep.
Yeah, so whenever there is a or and this one will come, so there must be an integer, right? So or we can use the
Nah, you
names.
can use like this conditions as well. Subin, let's take an example. Subin, I can write a equal to Subin or okay, let's program it. Chalo, let's program it. Suppose I have a program in mind of lucky number. Input, enter the number. Actually, I was thinking to take this program in loops. Let's take it now. Enter the number between 1 to 10. Sorry, 1 to 10. If a or rather than number who was just asking string, right? So enter the name. Guys, please be on mute. Here, just write a is equal to Subin. I'll just print f string of hi Subin, right? else I'm not taking, okay, let's take elif, else elif a is equal to, or here let's take, or a is equal to suppose Dheeraj. Let's print this, right? Here, now it will clear your doubts. Suppose if I run this, enter the name. If I put in Subin, I'm getting hi Subin. Or else if I'm writing Dheeraj, I'm getting hi Dheeraj. But why I'm getting this output? I have put or in between. It means either of this condition is gets true, I'll just get this result. But what if I put and? Now tell me, if I write either Subin or Dheeraj, will it get printed or not? Will this get printed?
No, we will get an error.
You'll get an error.
No, it won't.
No output.
I'll not get any output, right? So
Oh,
that
yeah.
is the condition of and. It need both conditions should be true. Then and then the interpreter will come inside of this block. Okay.
So
Now,
my program. Yeah. So if I say what I was talking about, let's suppose if I say either Subin or Dheeraj, then
Subin or Dheeraj, it means that you mean to say here in the same variable?
yeah, same variable. If Subin and I'll give you a scenario, huh? If Subin and Dheeraj, then either Subin or Dheeraj, then he's in BT. If else Kuldeep or Chirag, then Unilever.
Yeah,
So-
that you can do. That you can do. If you're writing another, see, in elif you should write elif, not else. Else means by default. If both elif and if it is not, then else will be there. Getting it? You can just write a is equal to this. Suppose you can just write suppose Kuldeep over here. Sorry, Kuldeep over here. You can write something. Let's say Vinay. Right? You have print over here that f hi a. This is what you are asking. Same result. No, if you put any name, you'll get that name. If you put Vinay over here, I'll get hi Vinay. Right? I have put only that colon. See, hi Vinay. Getting it? Kuldeep, who was asking that question? Getting it?
Yeah.
Who was asking that question to me?
Subin.
Yeah, Subin. Getting it? Means have you
Yes,
got
yes.
that point?
Yes.
Okay, chalo. Now this is all about if and if else statement. So task you have is you need to swap two numbers, which is a simple task. You can do it by yourself. I'll just paste it in the group. Second, this is an important task, guys. If you are good with functions, if you are good with if else test statements, you should able to try this out, right? You can write a program to build calculator which perform addition, subtraction, division, multiplication using functions and if statements. So I'll just quickly show you. I think I have that program. 19. This is the program. If I run that program, let's run it. It is asking me enter first. See, welcome to CC calculator. It is asking me enter first integer. I'm entering 20. Enter second integer. I'm entering 40. It is asking me enter the operator, right? Here, if I put plus, it is getting addition of 20 and 40 is 60. And it is asking again, press any key to continue. If I put enter, again, it is asking enter first integer. Again, I'm writing 20, 40. If I write minus, I'll get input at minus 20. But what if I'll get another integer 20, 40, and if I'll get suppose this bracket or this bracket, rather than any operator which is mentioned below. So it is getting please enter valid operator from the list. So that is the program that you need to create with using functions and if else statements, right? So this is your task for you. Now we're gonna move ahead with loops. So where we use loops, that is the first statement. Okay, we have studied function, we have studied if else statement, we have studied list, we have studied tuple, we have studied dictionaries, right? These all are a part that we can get we can fetch the details with the help of loops. So the primary content of the loop is it will save your time. Suppose there are a list of 1 to 100 numbers, right? And you need to print out each and every number. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will take a time, right? So if how can you print it? Suppose I have 1, 2, 3 up to the 100. How can you print it? How suppose this is S1. How I can print this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 100? Guys, this is a question for you. How can I print that? I want 1. How can I print this 1?
Just place position of this one.
Right. So position
Yeah.
of this one is 0. This is then 1. This then S1 is 2, and so on. So it will take a time, right? For we have 100 numbers in my list. So it is not a feasible way to do that. For that, what I can do is I can use a loops, and I can just write. I just want a loop
I
for
equal to
this.
0, something like that. Correct.
Yeah, just wait. So I'll just put a loop for this list, and I'll just iterate this list up to the end of the number which is 100, right? I'll just iterate for it will print for 1, it will again run, it will print for 2, it will again run, it will print for 3, it will again run, it will print for 4, and so on up to the end, right? We did not need to specify the end into the loops, that up till what my loop will execute. So loops has their inbuilt interpreter, or we can say cursor, that it will run the code, it will run the list up to the end of the block, right? So let me start with the loops. The first statement in the function executed first, followed by the second, and so on. That we know that Python is always follow line by line. So first, second, and third, and so on. So there may be situation when you need to execute a block of code several number of times. What if suppose I have a function name as def1 a comma b, right? And here I'm return a plus b. Suppose I'm giving def suppose my of 1 2. Okay, I'm printing this result, I'll get a result as 3. What if again I want to print that result? I need to again call this function for get that result with different values. So this is the case if I do not want to give another value to this, do not want to call this function as many times as I want. I can just specify a loop, for loop, or while loop. There are loops, we are going to study that. And I can just inside this loop, I can just call this my function, whatever the value that user will enter, it will directly call again and again to this particular function. So, and I'll get a result accordingly. So where at that condition we use loops. So to reduce the iterative task, we use loops. Now, the programming language provides various control structures that allow for more complicated executions and paths. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, if you are printing something and you want to save your time, why should you write your code one more time, right? It will execute, this lines or this command will store into your memory, and it will allocate the memory, right? It is a wastage of memory if you are writing same code again. This is not what we can say. This is not mandate, or this is not correct way to write a different type of set of programs again and again. So loop statement allows us to execute a statement or a group of statement multiple times. The following diagram illustrated the loop statement. So this is a flow chart. If the condition, suppose this condition gets true, again it will go inside this loop, it will back to this condition. Again, this will go inside this loop, it will back to this condition. So let's run it via program, so you'll get better idea what is loops. So first loop in Python known as while loop. So what is my while and where we use while loop? So it is used to execute a block of statement repeatedly until the given condition is satisfied. This is an important statement here, that while loop will run infinite time. See, while loop will run infinite time until the condition of the while get false, right? So while loop is also known as infinite loop. And when the condition become false, the line immediately after a loop in the program will get executed. Obviously, in if statement also we saw, if this condition is get false, the line below this if it get executed. Same for while as well. So while loops fall under the category of indefinite integration. Indefinite integration means that the number of time the loops executed isn't specified explicitly in advance. So let's move toward the syntax. What is the syntax for while loop? So while loop syntax is while expression. So here we need to give some expression, right? Or a condition to that until this while loop will run accordingly, right? Until this statement, this while loop should run. And let me give you the example of the while loop. I think I have that example which will help you a lot. Or give me a sec, guys. What I can do is, okay, let's try this example. Let me create one more file over here. Python while one. So again, I'm saying do not give a reserve keyword as a file name, while for and something. While one. Suppose I have a equal to 10 with me, and here while, I'm just putting while a is equal to 10, right? I'll just print a, right? Suppose if I write this, let's run the program. If something is running, okay, this calculator was running in background. Getting it? My program is going to infinite loop because this condition is satisfied, right? See. Here, if my interpreter goes over here, a equal to 10, okay. A equal to 10, it means this condition is true, then print a. So this loop will run indefinite time because the thing is, the a value is not changing, it is constant at 10. So it will see, it will running infinite time. You can see that this while loop is running infinite time. If you want to stop, you can just hit this stop button and my function is getting stopped. Now what if I don't want, see, at particular stage I want this loop should stop, right? So suppose I want this loop stop at 20, or let's mind 10, and I'll just write here, I'll just give a equal to 1, and just write a is equal to a plus 1, right? Here, let's move to n. Now here what, let me explain. Here a equal to 10. Now print a equal to 10, equal to 10, okay, it's true. Then print 10. Now here, see, what I'm doing, a is equal to a plus 1 means 10 is equal to, see, equal to means right value is going to the left. It means that a, what is in a is in 10, a plus 1, it is now 11. Let's run. See, I'm just getting only output as 10 now. It is not getting in, it is not getting into the infinite loop because I put the condition of a is equal to a plus 1. So guys, for this I can also write like this, a plus equal to 1. This is a arithmetic operator, right? A plus equal to 1, it means that a equal to a plus 1. Similarly, b plus equal to 1, it means that b equal to b plus 1. Similarly, a minus equal to 1, it means that a equal to a minus 1, right? So this is the arithmetic operators that we have to use inside the loop to increment our variable, right? So this is a condition, or this is the expression for while loop. Any issues up till this condition? Okay. See, in this program, this else part we're gonna study now. So here, what I'll do, I is equal to 0. Now, while I is less than 4, is it 0 is less than 4? Yes, it is true. Now here, what I'm doing, I is equal to I plus 1. So what is in I now? I is 0 plus 1. Now this equal to 1. Now this I will get 1. So this value of I will get changes to 1, right? And if I print I, now this 1 will get printed again. It will not move outside of this block because this condition is not false set. It is true. My cursor will go again over here in the while loop. It will again check. Now what is in I? I is 1. 1 is less than 4. This condition is true. Okay, it is true. Again, inside the while block, I equal to I plus 1. What is in I now? I have I 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now this I, it is getting replaced by 2 now. Okay, this is 2. Print I. First is 1 is getting printed, second is 2 is getting printed. Now again, this condition is not at false. Again, my interpreter will comes in while loop, which is 2, I is 2 now, less than 4. Okay, it is true again. Again, 2 plus 1, 3. I is replaced by 3, and this 3 is getting printed also. Here 3 is less than 4. Yes, condition is 2. So 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4, right? So now 4 is getting printed here. Now see, 4 is less than 4. No, condition false. My interpreter will come outside of this loop, right? So this is what the syntax of while loop, right? So what is else statement then? So guys, let me write same example to prove that else statement. A equal to 1, right? Okay, A equal to 0, less than 5. A plus equal to 1. Let's run the program for you. See, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an output. Now the second part is else part. Where is my this? So if we study if else statement, in if else statement, what we saw is if this if condition is get false, my cursor will come to this else block and it is getting printed. Here this loop else is different, right? It is not too much different, but yes, it is different about that. Else means here in loops, else means else identifies that your while loop is executed completely, means it is there is no error in your while loop, right? We're gonna prove that else when we study the break statement, but else will print when and when there is no error in while loop, right? If now here print else, okay, I am else, right? Let's print it out. See, I'm getting output as well, and I'm getting I am else as well. It means that this while loop as executed until this condition is get false, right? So until this condition is get false, it means that while loop is executed correctly, and then this else statement will print it out. So we're gonna check when this else statement will not printed, right, in the next further slide. But any issues until this while and while block? While
So
loop,
Dheeraj, if we say A equals to 6, what will happen then?
A equal to 6. Try it. I think nothing will happen. Nothing will get printed except else.
Okay, else will be printed.
Yes,
if-
yes,
if-
it is.
okay.
Because I cannot say why it is. Right now we are not studying that loop statement, because if you write break over here, no, it will not print. Don't worry, we'll gonna learn why it is, why when it will not get printed. Any issues till then, till this point?
Yeah, so how we got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I didn't get that. Can you tell me once again?
Yeah, okay, you want me to prove that how we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else was or has the same question? Okay, let me give you the solution. Here a is equal to 0. It means that I have a block is 0. Now here a is see guys, if you have solved this issue where the Satta is asking, you can take a break for 3 minutes and you can come. Now here a is 0. A is less than 5. What is in a? Satta, you have to tell me what is in a now.
0.
0. Okay, so 0 is less than 5. Is it true or false?
Yeah, true.
True. My interpreter will go inside of this while. Now I am at this line. A is equal to a plus 1. So what is in a now?
0 plus 1.
0 plus 1. So a becomes 1,
Yeah.
right? So now this value of a will get replaced to 1,
Yes, correct.
right? So this condition is false or true. This is true, right?
True,
So-
true. Yeah.
So my interpreter will not come outside of this block because this condition is true. When it will come outside if this condition is false. Now again it will
False.
check what is in a 1 less than 5. Is it true or false?
Yeah, correct. True.
True, right? So again it will check 1 plus 1, a equal to 2 now. So this will replace to 2,
Mhm.
right? So first it will print 1, second it will print 2, right? So 2 is less than 5, the same condition. Again, if 2 is less than 5, 2, what is in a? A is in 2 plus 1. Is it 3, right? So now print 3. Getting it?
Okay, okay. Yeah, so the A value will be changing.
Yeah, obviously it will change. See, equal to sign, it means what this value will get assigned to a.
Okay.
Let's meet at 9:04. Let me pause my recording. Any issues? If you don't, let me move back. So we are going to learn a for loop. So for loop falls under category of definite integration, right? So this definite integration, it means that we have to give specified range until what this for loop will run. Same in while loop, it will run indefinite times, right? So let's move ahead. What is the syntax for loop? I hope if you know C, here in C, we have to specify that I equal to 0, I is less than some condition, and then what we can say, what I forget what is this? Incremental or something. Then in C, the curly braces and all. So don't worry about C, we're learning Python. So what is the syntax for loop? Let me create one more file, new Python for else. Now, the syntax for loop is for here we need to provide a variable for variable, right? In we're gonna see the expression, right? And inside this a statement 1, right? Here, what is this variable means? So guys, this is a local variable. I hope we are clear with local and global variables. So this is a local variable which will run inside this for only, which the life of this local variable is inside this for only. So the local variable, you can give anything. You can just write I as a local variable in expression, right? So what type of expression you can give in for is, you can write any expression just like first. Do we have a program for it? Okay, it's a first. So there are a few functions in for about expression. What type of expression we can write in for? This is just for expression. Now first is range. In the list, I think we have written a range. If not, we're gonna study that as well here. Suppose I need to print a list of 1 to 100. What I can do? Can anyone tell me? I need to print 1, 2, 3 up to 100. What I can do is, shall I write a list of 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100?
No, you need to print the value of variable while using the loop, for loop till
No,
100.
I'm not talking about loops. Now, means not for loop actually. Before list, if I need to print 100 numbers in a list, how can I print it? Do we study range function in the list?
Range.
I think you did mention that you will explain the later section.
Yeah, I was expecting those. I was expecting those answers from you. See, here, guys, we saw that this is a equal to, suppose, my string, and I need to convert this my string into the list. How can I convert this? We saw. Tell me first. How can I convert this my string into the list? Means I want output like this. I want output like my will be in first and string will be in second. We saw yesterday only. We saw yesterday only, I think. Tell me.
Split we can.
Good. What? No, that is fine. We are using strip. We can. We have to use strip. But what is the syntax for it? Come on, guys.
So we can say print in a dot strip.
A dot strip. Okay, but it will just print. Why strip or split?
Split, sorry.
Split.
What strip will do now?
A strip will remove the spaces.
Good. Guys, please revise yourself. Huh? If you're not clicking that what strip will do, revise yourself. So split with the help of space. I'm not giving anything. But if you print, see, if you print, it will just print it. I need to save it to the another variable, right? So, and here what I can do is, if I print, suppose, just for your info, if I print, right, I can print over here, but it will not store to the B. I want this information for further use. Oh, sorry. See, I'm getting my string. My and string in a different categories. Got it? But now what I want output like, I'm removing string from my from this. I want output like S T R I. Now tell me. N G. Tell me. That I'm sure that we have studied that. Guys, it is important while learning for loop. See, if I'm just revise yourself. I'm writing this. B equal to list of A. If I write list of A, and if I print, yesterday also we saw that how to convert that key value pair into the list. Getting that? We have convert that values to the list by using this list keyword. If you put list, see, I'm getting output as string. Getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now how to put range? Similar. Here, what I can do is I can just hit list of range. So the syntax for range is, you need to put what is the starting point of range. I need data from 2, comma, up till 100, and I need a step of 2. Step means where is my pen? Step means suppose I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if I give 2 step, it means this -1, -1, just like our slicing part, right? This is step, this is starting, this is ending, this is step. Same here in range, but here there is no list. Here there is comma and a round bracket.
Basically difference of 2, right?
Yeah, it difference of 2. Even number will get printed now. See, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, up to the 98. See guys, 100 will not get printed. Getting that point? This will be included, this will be excluded. Same here as well in the range function. This will be included, this will be excluded, right? If you print, let's print only 200 numbers. See, I'll get 9 up till 99. I'm not getting 100 over here. If I want 100, I can just put 101, right? So that's it about range. Now, how we can use range in for loop? So let's see, for I is a local variable. In, we have studied this in operator, right? Yesterday, this is something a syntax for in range. Here I'll just give 100 and then colon, which is a syntax, print I. Now if I run this, let's run it and let's see the output. See, I'm getting up to the 99, starting from 0, I guess. Yeah, starting from 0. So guys, see here, if we saw the list, we were getting output as in the list format, 0 up till 99. But here I'm getting output as line by line. For 0, second 1, second, third 2, 3, 4. So how is this getting printed? Let me explain. Now I is a local variable which is valid until only this loop, valid for only for this loop. So I in the range of 100. So first of all, it will take 1111 input, right? First it will take 0 from this range, right? This will print 0. Again this loop will run. It will take one more variable, one more data, which is 1. Again it will print. It will take one more data in I, it will get print. So up till 99 will get output. This is a range function. Similarly, you can put 2, 100 and let me run the program. See, I'll get the output from 2, not from 0 now. See, right? Same for a range. You can also specify 2. See, I'll get even numbers, but in new line. So by default, the end of this is new line. We're gonna study if I don't want a new line. But any issues in range function? No issues? Chalo. So this range is clear.
So there is range is if you do range here also we have to specify the integer on it, right? Or
was it your voice? Yeah, here see, obviously guys, range it is integer only, right? This is an integer only. You cannot give something string over here.
Float values,
You can give it. Float, you can try it. Any other issues in range? Chalo. Clear? Let me move to another part now. Now, suppose I have a list, right? I have a list of, I don't want, let's take it with the help of network. Here, do we have a list? No, I think let's create one list. Here, let's create one list. L1 is equal to 10.10.10.1, comma 10.10.10.2, comma 10.10.10.3, right? Here, now see, there are multiple devices in the list now. Now I want to print one device at a time, because I cannot print every means all the device at a time. I need to print it one device at a time. So how I can do it? So what I'll write for I in, see, for I in. Now earlier we saw range function, so it will print one value from the range. So from where we want one value now, guys? This is a question. From where we want one value now?
I think from the list.
Obviously, right?
list.
We want a value from the list. So what should I write over here then?
Indexer value should be the, I think.
Okay, index values.
Yeah.
No, guys, see here, if you write index, no, it will just take first value, but I want entire that list. It will take one by one. So what I'll do is I'll just write name of that list, L1. Getting it? Means this entire list will now come to I, not at a time. This not at a time, right? This we'll gonna see. Let me write the program and I'll gonna explain how this work. Print f string of IP of first or IP of switch is, and here I'll just print I, right? So let's run the program first. See, I'm getting IP of switch is 1.1.2.3. So first, this I will take first element of this list, then it will move ahead. Then until this condition is false. So when this condition will get false, up to the end of the list. If there is nothing in the list, if this list ends, then and then this condition will get false. Getting it? Getting it or not?
Yes.
Right. So this I will take one input. So first it will take .1, again it will run. It will take .2, again it will run. It will take .3. Is there something after .3? No. At that time, this for get stopped, and it will, the interpreter will come outside of this loop. If you write else over here, right, print for as false, right? Similarly as per while. So when this condition of the for will get false, this will get print out, right? So actually the benefit of else you will gonna compare in the loop statement, which is the next slide. But here, any issues in for while using this particular L1 means a list, any issues in for? Just for the list I'm asking.
No, it's fine.
Okay, chalo. Now one more thing. I have a list of, suppose, again I'm going back to the range function. Here I'm just giving range of 2 to a range of 100, not specifying anything. And here I'll just write if I modulus operator 2 equal to 0, and I'll just write print. What should I print over here now? I is
Prime number. Sorry, the even number.
Yeah, I is even number, right? And let's write else block. Print f string of I is odd, right? So let's print it out. Okay. See, it is getting output at 0 is even, 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd. Getting it? So this is how we can also use if statement inside for statement. Any issues in this, or shall I explain how it is running? I think it's easy. You can have a look, right? Okay. One more thing, you can also write, let's write string here directly, Directly just write Python. Right? You can also write Python over here. And here, some other thing I can write Python go and Java bad. Right? Let's write Python is good, Java bad. Right here, what I'll do, I is equal to suppose, let's write O. Actually, this will, I think I need to take it in statements, but let me check. So this condition, see, my motive is I just want to prove that we can also write string in this expression, right? My motive is this. Don't worry about this condition. Actually, I'm not thinking well for these conditions now. It will take a time to think of. I don't have that preset programs with me. So let's see if we put, see, I'm getting O. It means that first inside I, it will take 1 later. First, it will take P, right? So if I is equal to O, no, this is false. Again, I is equal to Y. Y is equal to O, no, false. Again, T, false. H, false. O, okay. O equal to O, condition 2, print O, right? So there should be 3 O in my string. So this is first, second, third. Getting it? We can also write string in the for statement, right? Same, we can also write list. We can also execute tuple as well, right? Let's write tuple. Let's try tuple. 1, 2, 3. T1 print I. See, anything you can write in dictionary as well. You can get it. You can what? You can use dictionary in for loop as expression as well. Any issues in for and else as well? For, else, and range. Any issues? For, else, and range. Shall I move towards next part? Nested for.
Yeah.
Okay. Now nested means what? Question. Nested means what? Come on. Nested means what?
I mean,
Inside,
statement within
right?
statement, yeah.
Right. So nested for. Nested for means for inside for. So how to prove it? I think I have a program. It will save our time. Program number 22. See here, what I'm doing is I have initialized 2 string, which is edj, red, big, and tasty, and second is fruit, apple, banana, cherry, right? So guys, see here what I'm doing. I have execute first for loop, name as for x in adj, and inside this for loop again I'm writing for y. So this variable should be different. It should not be same in fruits, which is my second dictionary, second list. And here inside this for I am writing some of the statements, right? Here what I'm writing, I need to print x comma y. It means it should print. Let me run this and let's see what is the output. See, it is getting red apple, red banana, red cherry, big apple, big banana, big cherry, tasty apple, tasty banana, tasty cherry. So how it is running? Let's go with the flow. First, in ADJ we have this, in fruits we have this. Okay, X in ADJ. So at the first moment, what is in X? At the first time, what is in X?
Red.
Red. Then my interpreter will go inside. Y in fruits. What is in Y at the first time?
Apple.
Apple. Again, I'm inside. Print X comma Y. What is in X? Red apple. It getting printed. So is this fruits list is over or it is yet to finish?
Is still not over.
It is not over, right? So my interpreter will not come outside of this inside for loop. It will go again this for loop. It will not go here. It will just go in the second for loop. It will now fetch the another detail of Y. What is it? Y? Banana. It will get that detail. Again, it will come here. Print X comma Y. What is in X? I have red in X. What is in banana? I have a banana in X, a banana in Y. Again, this list is not over. Again, it will go here. Y is cherry now. Now it will come inside. What is in X? Red. What is in Y? Cherry. Now this list is over. Now my cursor will come outside of this loop and hit this loop because this loop is not yet over. Here, just only we have taken red. Until this list is get finished, this loop will run. Now here, this X will now replace by big. Again, if it is true, again in the second statement, Y in fruits. So this list was over and it was come outside. Again, I'm running. It means Y interpreter will again take out input as apple at the first time. Here again, X. What is in X? Big. What is in Y? Apple. Same. Big will remain constant. Big banana, big cherry. Again, the third, tasty banana, tasty apple, tasty cherry, and tasty banana. And if these both lists are getting over, my interpreter will come outside. Any issues in nested? Nested if any issues?
No, it's okay.
Chalo. Let's move towards statements now.
But Dheeraj,
Mm-hmm.
here we are just putting the list name, not place that I equal to 1 like that. Then to it is moving. It is not moving out from the while loop. Yeah. It means that it will check list. Either we put the name for X in ADJ, for Y in fruits. We take the name of.
See, for will take one element automatically. We should not
Okay.
need to put index over here. If you put index, you'll get error.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
So entire list, that is the reason we are using for, right? If you need to print one element, you can just print ADJ of 0, ADJ of 1, ADJ of 2, one time. Let's move towards loop statements. We have clear with for else, right? Same as per while. That if this condition will get false, this else will get printed. Now let's move towards another statement. Another loop control statements. So this loop control statement, where it is used. So using loop in Python automates and repeat the task efficient manner. Okay, that's fine. That what loops will do? Loops will iterate the task, right? But sometimes there may arise a condition where you want to exit a loop completely and skip an iteration or ignore that condition. That can be done by loop control statement. So if you are iterating something and you need to put condition that no, at this point, if this of the condition is get true, my loop will get stopped immediately. It should not be move ahead, right? So for that, what should we use? We use loop control statement. So first we're gonna learn for and then we're gonna learn for while, right? So let me the first statement is known as continue statement. So where the continue statement is used. So guys, see, the second name of continue statement means not second name, but to be for understanding purpose, we can say continue as keep, right? So we can skip any condition, right? So how to prove it? Let me take the example and then we're gonna prove that. Go this dictionary and then new Python file, loop statements. Okay. So here again for in for I in Python, okay, Python good. and Java bad, right? Here I'll write print, or not, I'll not write print. If let's say later, we don't have later, let's say I is equal to suppose O, right? See, I'm getting indentation. It means I should not write if over here. I'm writing inside if. Huh? So to be make sure about it, continue. And outside this, I'm just writing I. Okay, I'm just writing I. See, what I explain for continue is keep, right? So let me print the output for you. Oh, sorry. See. Here, for will take one element at one time. So I P now. P is equal to O. No. Print I. P is getting printed. Again, Y is not equal to O. Y is getting printed. Up till P, up till TH is getting printed. But when I equal to O, I equal to O. Right? So when this condition gets true, guys, this if this continue statement gets execute, it means keep and go to the take the another iteration. It means that if I equal to 0 and if you are hitting continue, I'm telling my loop that skip that out, means do not print whatever which is below the continue, just go to the for loop again and take the next iteration. So this I will take now n, it will skip this O, getting it? And hence I'm not getting O in my output. Here in good also I'm not getting O in output, getting it? So here this is mean by continue statement. It means that whenever if you want to continue, when you want to skip the iteration, we use continue statement, right? Any issues in continue where we use continue? One more example I'll take to explain, don't worry. We have example, I think I have pre-built example in 23. See here, copy loop statement paste. Here I have geeks for geeks in my S statements, right? So for later, which is the local variable in S. So in S it will take first G. Now print later. Okay, this is a break statement. Where is my continue? Do we have? Okay, here it is. Now same. What is in my list? I have a list in apple, banana, cherry. X in fruit. So at the first time X is apple. Now it will go here. X equal to banana. Is it condition is false or true? It is false. So it will go outside. It will not go inside. It will print this apple. Again, this list is not end. X equal to banana now, right? So here X equal to banana. Okay, this condition is true, and my interpreter will go inside continue. Continue means just keep this iteration. Just take another iteration. Do not go out. Do not run the line below the continue statement. Right, it will stop the iteration, it will take another iteration. Now X equal to cherry will come, X equal to banana, which is getting false, and print X, mean we print cherry. Let's run it out. See, I'm not getting banana over here. Any issues in continue statement? Shall I move ahead? Yep. Okay, chalo. Now let's start for go for another statement. Now another statement is, guys, break. So break means what happened? Okay. Break means with the break statement we can stop the loop before it has looped through all the items. It means that Whenever in the program, if you hit break, whenever in the program and whenever in the for loop, if you hit for loop or while loop, if you hit break, at that condition, your loop stop executing and the interpreter will come outside of this for loop or while loop, right? So how to prove it? Let's go ahead and let me comment this part. Let me write, just for your info, let me write break. Here, I'll just take an example of break now. A sequence is equal to 1 comma 5 comma let's take 19 comma 3 comma 31 comma 100 comma 55 comma 34, right? Here what I'll write, for item in S sequence, right? Let's put condition if item modulus operator is 17 equal to 0, print let's write a number is divisible by 17 has been found, right? So let's write breaking a loop. Don't worry, I'll explain. Let me write a code for you. Here I'll just write break, right? Let me run the program. I have better example to understand. This will be difficult. This will also difficult. What is a, okay, this will be same. Let me run this. See, we'll take this example later on. Let me explain break statement first. See, same example. First, it will just take G as a first input. In later, I have G now. Now print G. Okay, G is getting printed. Later is equal to E, or later is equal to S, right? If any one of condition will get true, it will get break, right? Now I think I have some statement, okay, here out of the loop. So what this break will do? So guys, break will stop the execution of the loop if this condition gets true. Getting it? If now if I print this, see, I'm just getting G, E, and out of the loop. Let's run this, or let's go side by side. S equal to G at the first moment. Print later. Print G out. Is later is equal to E? Is or later equal to S? No. It my loop will not get inside. Again, next. S equal to E now, right? Print E. Okay, it's getting printed E. If later is equal to E, oh, this is true. Or later is equal to E, this is false. But that's fine. It is or. So any one condition is true. Inside this, I got this break. So at this point, break will do his work. What break will do? Break will just break this loop. The break will tell interpreter just go out. So my interpreter will come out at the next line where my for loop gets end, right? It will just throw the interpreter out from the loop. So my interpreter will come outside of the loop and this line will get printed. Any issues in break? Break will stop the execution of the loop, right? No issues in break. Okay. Chalo. Do we have another example that I can give you? I can test you. Okay. Loop statements. Now tell me what will be the output of this. Let me Okay, S. Tell me guys, what will be the output of S equal to 0? Just take your book and pen. We have studied break statement and loops, while loop as well. So you can just tell me the output. Any issues in this program, or it is difficult to understand?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, try it out. I'm here to help you out if there is any issues. So
It will give output GE.
But there is no print state. Okay, print is above. Okay.
yeah, here it is. If you write the print below, and if this condition get false, your interpreter will throw out.
It will give the output like G,
Mhm.
E. That's all.
Who is online?
Subin.
Subin. Okay, Subin is telling G and E. Anyone?
No, I think it is wrong because in the first statement it will.
So your mic is away from you.
Because in the first it will check print s equal to I. Okay.
I want output.
I. Okay. Hold on. I tell you.
See guys.
It will only print G, I believe.
Yeah. First it will print G. No, then it will.
Who was telling it will only print G?
Kuldeep.
Kuldeep. Okay. Kuldeep is telling only G will get printed. See that we are testing. Even I don't know what will be the output.
Is it like a GKS?
See,
then
even I didn't run it. Even I
G
didn't
only.
work on it.
GKS?
Okay. Vinay is also telling G. Who was that?
Vipul here.
Okay.
So
Vipul
it,
is telling
it will
G.
GK,
S, F,
not
F.
S. It will then print F. So whatever there which is
Not E and S.
not E and S, it will
Philip,
print.
you wanna try?
No, I'm not following. Sorry.
We are just spending more time because it is important. No, that is the reason I'm investing more time in loops. Okay, let me run the program. See why it is G and E. Why Subin was correct. Let me even I'll also run this program first time. S equal to Greek for Greek. Okay, I S equal to Greek for Greek. This is a wonderful site for learning some codes, Python and all. You can learn from this site. I is equal to 0, right? While true, it means that this loop will run until this condition is true. That is always this is a default while loop is done. While loop is do. So print S of I. What is in I? I is 2. Print S of 0. What is S of 0 is G. Right here is S of 0 is G. What is G is equal to E, or G is equal to S? No. Right now I, what is in I? I is in 0. What is 0 plus 1? Now it will 1. Again while loop. Print S of I. What is in I? This is 1 now. What is I? S of 1. What is S of 1? It is E. E is getting printed. Again, E equal to E, or E equal to S. This is false, but this is true. If this is true, this is OR statement. If this is true, it will come inside. Got break. Break means stop the execution. Put the throw the interpreter out of this loop, and nothing will get here out of this loop, and hence it is not getting printed. Any issues in G and E? Means why you got confused?
Okay, so we were thinking after break it is going to I+1, but since the value is
No,
getting true, it is
see,
going out of the while loop
yeah, because
and
this I
heading.
plus one
Yep,
is inside this loop, guys, right?
yep.
So break will throw outside. So this will not be printed. Any other confusion?
Instead of break, if it is continue, then it will move forward, right?
It will, why it will move forward? It will not execute this I plus one. It will move forward. It will skip that iteration. Huh? You mean to say that
Yeah,
only?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It will skip that iteration. It will not run that line, but it will skip that iteration. Got it? Let's try else here now. Else print I am else. See here. Comment this part. Will this be why I'm getting error? Let me try why I'm getting error. What is the error? No, it is not an error. See, it is a warning. Huh? See, guys, here when the else part will execute, when and when the condition of this while get false, right? So earlier scenario we saw for else that it was running if the condition of this false will get false, but right now we are breaking that loop. This while we don't want to run while up to the end of this string. We are breaking that loop, and if you are breaking irrespective of condition, it means this else will not getting printed. When this else will get printed, if this while get false, right? If you print out now, this else will not getting printed. It will just give you the output as G and E. Getting it? Now you got the point of else. Any issues in else part? Where when it will get printed and when it will not? Any
I think
issues,
it's good
guys?
now.
Okay, perfect. Anyone again? Okay, okay. Now we have 4 minutes, and I think I'm done for today. But let me check. We have something. Remember, break. Oh no, I have 4 minutes. I can try one more step. So continue and break is done. Now third statement is known as pass statement. Pass statement means nothing. So when we use pass, if there is a pass statement, Python will just ignore that. So when we use pass, suppose I have a for loop with me. I have for in range of 100, and I don't want to use. I'm writing print hi. What will be the output of this?
It will print high till 99 times, 1 to 99, I believe.
Guys, have a look at program first. Huh? I'm asking question. It means there is something in program.
We need to give we need to enter tab before print.
So do not say tab and all. Just say indentation.
Indentation. Okay.
Right?
Was not able to pronounce that.
Yeah, no issues. So if I'm not giving indentation here, let's run the program. I put debug. Shit. See, it is asking me that expected intended block. It means that I need indentation, but what I was supposed to do is right now I don't want to use this for, but in future I'll use this for. So at that time, you can do is inside this indentation, just hit pass. Right? So if you hit pass, you'll not get error. Getting it? The Python will just pass this out. It means pass will do nothing. Huh? It is just for if I want to use for in future, I can just write pass to avoid the errors. So when I'll come, I'll just write my block of code inside this for when I'll get time. Getting it? It is very important. So pass function, when it is important, suppose you are writing some of definition, some of the functions, right? Although there could be multiple time you don't know what values you are passing. Right here, here you are just leaving this function as it is, and if you are writing my, and there are multiple functions in your program, you don't know, you need to correlate for this, right? At that time you'll get error. So what you can do is just hit pass, and you can write your block of codes, and then you can run the program, right? So this is a use of pass statement. Any issues in pass? No. Chalo. Now I have done for today pass. This example, okay, I have a task for you. Good. So there are 3 tasks for you today. So you need to try it, and this is important, guys. So write a program to get square of the function using for loop. Okay, that's easy. You just need to hit, okay, create a function by getting 2 values from the user. These are the steps that you need to follow. Create a result variable and assign default 1 value to it. Create a for loop with a range of num2 and print the result. You want to see, I think I have the program. Let me run. Enter the integer. Okay, I'll just put 2. Enter the power. I'll just put 4. Okay, 2 to the rest of power 4 is 16. So guys, you have to use functions, and you have to use what? Follow these steps, which is written over here, that create a function, create a loop, for loop and all, and let me know if there is any issues. Clear with this output of task? Guys, any input you want to share?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I just have like one thing to ask. Like, I was not able to download these PPTs and documents that
At
you
the
have shared.
start, I told you that I can give you just a read-only access for the PPTs. For the videos,
Oh,
yeah, sure. You can be, but why you want to download the PPTs? I'm just hesitate to ask. As someone was asking that I want to download the video. Oh, that's fine. That could be an issue for downloading or for surfing that on the Google Drive. But why for the PPT? What is the issue?
Actually, what happens sometimes we
Wait, Chira, Vinay, wait. I'll just stop my recording.
okay.